This is me, and after grinding Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for over 2 months, I have no friends left. As it turns out, this game doesn't only destroy friendships, but it also destroys your ego, when you're stuck at 8000 VR and can't even dream of playing competitively. But if I'm going to be friendless anyway, I might as well invest my time in actually getting good at the game. And Shortcat is here to help. His pro guide teaches us how to drift like a legend, take insane shortcuts, fly with perfect glider control, land pro tricks, master running and bagging, and even learn advanced tech strategies. I'll tackle one skill per episode, test it in 2 hours of online matches, and see if this training can finally make me a pro, or at least get me past 8000 VR.
We will start off with the most important skill, drifting. We will start by practicing snake drifting and alignment hops. In my opinion, two of the most easy skills when it comes to drifting to master.
Snake drifting is a technique where you continuously drift left and then right in order to keep on charging mini turbos.
This works really well together with alignment hopping, because this way you can avoid hitting the wall or getting hit by those annoying obstacles. Anyway, enough talking and let's get into the training.
Shortcat says Waluigi Pinball is a great track to practice drifting on, so that's where we're going.
I'm using Mr. Scooty in combination with Azure Rules because they appear to have a great build up to mini turbos. I instantly noticed that I was bumping into objects, bumping into walls and bumping into more objects. So it was time to combine this with alignment hopping so that I have better alignment, and I decided not to stop practicing this level until I consistently got 3 perfect laps in a row. So it was time for a big grind, and these were the results.
The first major sign of improvement was that I was always outrunning the pinball on every lap. On the last lap it was not even visible anymore. You will see so. Here we are smoothly drifting and hopping through the danger zone. There we go, no pinball inside. This time is actually 10 seconds faster than the time I started with, but I could see online that it's still 20 seconds slower than the world record. I am not looking to break any record in time trials, but there's much room for improvement, so it's back to the drawing board. We are going to continue with the most important drifting skill, soft drifting. Soft drifting is a technique with which you can take curves at a softer angle while still charging up mini turbos at the maximum speed. The green zone on this thumbstick is the area where you charge up mini turbos the quickest. The sweet spot is where you see the red dots. If you're still cutting the corners too tight, you can adjust yourself by pointing your thumbstick in the other direction. While doing this, you will charge up your turbos slower. While going around corners, your thumbstick direction will often change like this. To enhance your soft drifting skills, you can use delayed drifting. Here you jump before choosing a direction and instantly land into a soft drift. Combining this with what we've previously learned, this should increase our times by a decent margin. So let's get into the next training session. A great track for practicing soft drifting is Yoshi Circuit. Because of the numerous amount of corners we have to take here, it is ideal. I started off making several mistakes, especially at the locations of the piranha plants. Yeah, that is not a good look. But after honestly not a lot of practice, things went very well. I was actually breaking record after record after record after record. Eventually, this is how a regular lap would look. Brace yourselves, we're going to make it epic. This is when I realized I was ready to put my newfound skills into use. So without further ado, let's get into the highlights of my session, and after that I will reveal my new VR. As you can see, we're starting slightly over 8000 at 8019 VR. I could absolutely not wait to get into this session. Let's go! Started off pretty well, ending up in first place pretty soon and ending the first lap in great fashion. But this would not be called Mario Kart if we did not get Mario Karted. And we did. So where we started off the second lap in first place, we started off the third lap in 11th place. That was quite bad, of course. But since I have a little bit of knowledge of this track and also a little bit of luck with the items, we could take a shortcut at the end of the third lap, actually getting us a way better position. And with the help of a shock dodge, we ended up in second place. That's 21 VR already gained. We're up to a great start. Next we had a pretty good run at Piranha Plant Pipeway, actually getting a little bit of luck in the end because one of our opponents got hit with a blue shell and we also got a turbo so we could take the shortcut at the end. Well, I'm not going to complain about that. After picking up a not so noteworthy 4th position at Electrodome, a 7th at Riverside Park. A couple of matches later, something very important happened. The track where I was practicing soft drifting actually got selected, Josie Circuit. I knew I had to win this one. I knew that getting a boost over here would be very important, so I would absolutely not mind taking 10th position in order to do so. Here I relatively easy seem to get back to the top of the pack, actually using a piranha plant, and I don't know what's worse, actually using a piranha plant or getting bitten by one. I don't like it either way. Incredibly enough, we get 3 mushrooms and I find myself in the number 1 position. With my newfound driving skills, I thought this cannot go wrong. Except, there's Joe. At the end of lap 2 I managed to pass Joe, but I didn't have a mushroom anymore to take the shortcut, so I just had to hope that my driving skills would be sufficient and nobody would pass me. At this point I'm thinking, you cannot be serious. Typically Mario Kart. And not only did I get hit, but I also got passed, not by Joe, but by K Burrow or something like that. But what the heck is K Burrow doing here? Incredible, he hits himself with his own fire and gives me the win. A couple of minutes later and we're at Yoshi Valley. Yoshi Valley, a great track, I love to play it, so I'm just going to try my best to win it. I actually get in first place very quickly. I didn't give up first place for basically the remainder of the match. I even got Mario Kart in a way that felt very personal. But I was able to keep first place and continue the same way I did before. But then, close to the end, I got red shelled. Now, this didn't mean that it was the end yet, I just needed to have the most common item at second place, which is a red shell, or 2. I got it, I broke his defensive item, and just before I could finish, I could red shell him back, taking the win. The next track, my least favorite Rainbow Road. Well, it actually went pretty well. I started in first position from the last match, I stayed in first for like all of the match. Of course I finished first, and maybe it's a good time, now that I'm playing a little over an hour, to see what my current VR is. At this point I honestly might have been playing about an hour and 15 minutes. But in this 1 hour and 15 minutes we managed to gain 211 VR. A bit close to the end and I find myself in Donut Plains in 11th place at the start of the last lap. Now Donut Plains is kind of a great level to make a comeback, but you have to have the right items in order to do so. So I'm talking about mushrooms and stars being the most important ones, maybe a bullet bill. But you have to still take the corners the right way and try to pass as many people as possible. Which actually worked out quite fine here. And I ended up in 4th place. That was nice. Now let's get into the final match of the 2 hours of gameplay. Cheeseland. Cheeseland, to be honest, I don't really like this level. The shortcuts, they are just so overpowered and you have a lot of holes that just bother me and I just have to try hard not to get last here. 8th place, not very good. But we've got some great items, so let's just take some shortcuts and see where we end up. Wow, we actually end up in 2nd place. That's great. Would it actually be possible to win this? Heading into the last lap, we get red shelled into the 9th position. This is not looking good. Well, at least we've got ourselves a star, so maybe this can do something. Well, I failed pretty badly there. But look, we still end up with a little bit of luck in 6th place. Now, let's take a look at the VR we are currently at. 8,417 VR. That's 398 higher than where we started. Wow, that was actually amazing. I never expected to gain almost 400 VR in just 2 hours of time. Improving my drifting skill really worked out. In the next episode we will be looking at shortcuts. Shortcuts we can take without using mushrooms and shortcuts we have to take using our mushrooms. I hope you tune in then. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. You cannot imagine how many weeks of work went into this process of making this video, so it would be great if you would do that, and I hope to see you in the next one.